A minimum of 300%. Yeah, actually 300%, as crazy as that does sound, has been made off of this one indicator that's, funnily enough, has actually fired off this month yet again. With that said, welcome back to EllioTrades channel. I am Krown, your TA host for today, and with that in mind, let's jump into it with some good old Bitcoin technical analysis. Before we do that, however, I would like to just ask the community here, if you could let us know in the comment section below, are there any specific altcoins that you'd like to look at? I'll perhaps look at a couple today. I want to keep these videos somewhat on the shorter side, around 10 minutes. And we'll just see what we get to. So let's get off the flows page right here. And let's just start off with a very short-term time frame analysis and follow up on the last 24 hours, because last we spoke, Bitcoin was grinding up against the 57,500 area right here. All was well and good, but we did say, hey, a little bit of short-term caution probably does pop down. And if we do see any sort of a closure, even on an hourly below about 56,000 bucks, looking for a swipe back down to the bottom side of the range, that being anywhere between 53.7 and 54,000 bucks, of which we got right here. And my little red LARP lines showing the way on this one, funnily enough. Now, what do we have going on right now? A potential bear trap going on here, as we do have yet again another low on the 4 hour being printed above that $54,000 pivot right here. And just kind of put it in plain old English terms, above 54,000 bucks, good. Below 54,000 bucks, technically 53,700, bad. Looking for a move back down to 52. Anyways, with that said, we have a few indications of a potential bull trap, or sorry, not bull trap, but bear trap in order right here, as Bitcoin does claw its way back above 56,000 bucks. So with that in mind, let me go to my regular chart right here. And I just want to point out this on the 4 hour time frame. We are about 13 minutes and 25 seconds away from confirming hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour RSI, a very exaggerated amount, I should say, right here. And that will be confirmed with any sort of a closure basically here or higher, again in the next 13 minutes and now 11 seconds and ticking. With that in mind, I wouldn't really get too excited for a Bitcoin continuation phase to the prior higher term time frame targets, which are still very much valid. They are valid, of course, as long as we are above $54,000, especially again on a 4 hour closure. But they're not actionable as long as we are below about 57,000 bucks on a 4 hour closure right here. So for right now, Bitcoin short-term timeframes, yeah, we got a little bit of upside, but more or less range right here. Understand where the totality of those ranges come in. Okay, with that said, let's get into the fun stuff now. So I started off this video by saying something a little bit crazy, and I don't like saying these sorts of things because it feels in some ways forced, but when you can support it with data, I do think that it is relevant to talk about. And at the end of the day, you should be the judge for yourself. So with that said, I just want to show you something here. Just found something in the charts and I want to show you, right? Anyways, my point is that what do we have? We have a very specific play that we've seen throughout the 12, I think almost 13-year history now of Bitcoin that has been very consistent. And it is this, the monthly play on September and October opens and closes. So let me just explain it. Here's the idea. Anytime that Bitcoin has closed a September candlestick in really whatever fashion, and then being taken out on the other side, meaning in October, we either see the high side taken out or the low side taken out, we've seen a minimum to the upside continuation of about 300%. Into the downside, we've seen on average about 40 to 50% continuation of the downside. So I'll just show you right here. Again, at the end of the day, you are your own boss. And let's just go over this because it is, I suppose, relevant. So last September 2020, right? Bitcoin closes a little bit red right there, as we have seen many times in the past in September. And what do you know? In October, we take out the high side, the high essentially of September. And from there to our next major high on a closing basis, 400%. Not bad, you might say. We have a September before that in 2019, obviously. Where was this one? This one was on the other side. So you can see how it works on both sides in this case. Bitcoin closes, well, it just closed right here at about, what, 9,000 bucks or so. And then, of course, in October, we take out the bottom side of the wick. We do not trade above the top side. And there's a continuation of the downside. About 35% on a closing basis, on a wick basis, significant amount more. September in 2018, a bearish one right here. We do not trade above the top side of the September wick. We take out the bottom side of it in October, and down, down, down we go, 53%. Where do we stop? Only bear Jesus knows on that one. Anyways, September 2017, a very impressive one here as well. Let me just pull it up as there it is right there. What happens here? We take out the top side of September high, and from there to the next major all-time high, 300%. In fact, that was the least impressive result of all of these. We'll go through too many more of these because I think that they're rather self-explanatory, but we'll go to 2016, September, yet again right here. We take out the top side of it, and over the next few months, 100% up. Realistically, this one just goes all the way to the next top. It's 3,000% without any real major reversals on a monthly. Obviously, lower term time frame is a bit different. And then, of course, we have another downside example right here in September 2014, all the way down. And we could go to 13 and end it right here. As you can see, Bitcoin takes out the top side of it, and up we go, 737%. Just playing with numbers here, just out of curiosity, what would Bitcoin look like if we were to add 300% to September's high? Well, a number I'm not comfortable saying is what happens around there. So there you go. Anyways, we're already 6 minutes into this video. Let's save a little bit of time for some altcoins here. Again, this idea would be invalidated, of course, with Bitcoin coming back down and closing below $50,000. That is where this goes out the wayside. Technically, you could make it, 48.5. Either which way, close enough is close enough in that regard. Looking okay for now, and just something that you might be seeing, not today, not tomorrow, but perhaps half a year down the road. We'll see. We'll obviously monitor this one as we go onwards and forwards here and talk about invalidation points along the way. Let's go check out something that I've been watching. Again, I am not a huge altcoiner myself, although I do pay attention here and there, especially when I see a chart like Solana, of which we can check out right here. And what do we see on Solana? Again, a really, really powerful chart overall. Long-term, definitely bullish here. Very good as long as this one's above 130. In fact, I'm going to pull it up on my charts over here because I know that I already have it measured out. We were looking at it on my stream this morning, and what do we have? We had our correction down the 130 level. That's good. As long as we're above 130, again, more or less good. Below there, bad if you want to be bullish, looking for moves back down to, $100 probably below there over time. But for right now, this is fine. Short-term timeframes, what are we looking for? Maybe another grind out of the $140 to $135 lows. Ultimately, though, I'd be looking for this area to produce a bit of a higher low structure and trade its way sideways and up from here. Most likely, again, with 130, let's call it like 133 on a daily closure invalidation. Something like this, what I'd be looking for, perhaps. And then a resolution, perhaps, coming into November, December, of course. With that in mind, if I do go back into the lower term timeframes here, I should denote I would not get too excited about this one short term, as long as we are below, of course, 152.5 or so. Above there, things look short term good yet again. Be looking for a move back up to the top side of the prior range highs. Short term move very likely to 160, with extension very likely implied somewhere around 170, maybe even 180. Above 180 is where the party very likely starts yet again. All higher term time frames still good here. I just suspect that this one trades sideways for a while, as it was one of the first movers over the summer. Another one should we check out? Perhaps, I know what we should check out. How about AVAX? This one's rather popular right now as well. I'm looking a little bit more corrective to me, actually. Looking at the daily right here, we are still dancing around the 55. We actually hit our $50 target that I've had out for a while here. Again, ignore the red lines. While they are, or they could be relevant in the future, they're not what I necessarily want to talk about right now. Ultimately, I do like the $50 area as a base, as long as it's above it, generally good. Below it, I would look for the correction to go much deeper, actually. That's kind of my line in the sand for the short term right here. Somewhere down around anywhere low 40 to maybe even somewhere between low 40 and 45, perhaps. Somewhere around this blue box, we might even say. But for right now, I'd give it a chance to bounce similar to what we saw in Solana. However, short-term timeframes do look like they want to spill back on over and test around that $50 level. So short-term, very likely comes back down and tests around here. I would be looking for bounces off that region, and I would be short-term looking for some decent upside, once again back above 56.55. For right now, we do have 4-hour hidden bearish divergence here. So next move, more or less likely down, invalidation more importantly, above 56.5, looking for moves back up north of 60 if and when that does happen. Until then, short-term corrective, however, and I do think that at best this one's trading sideways for a little bit of time, unfortunately. Again, very similar to Solana, long-term, very, very good here. Certainly would not mind another wick down to 46.5, maybe even $47, however. So do keep in mind where we are within the grand scheme of things, but generally long-term good. It just kind of depends what time frame you're on. And I think with that said, we are just at the 10-minute mark now. So I kind of want to wrap this up. Hope this one served you well. Please let us know, what you liked about this, what you don't like about it. I'm going to try to kind of match up. Yeah, that's the word that I'm looking for. Match up a little bit of short-term analysis and then kind of keep an eye on the prize for the long term as well. I suspect a lot of people are interested in that here too, as I see a great discrepancy between Finex prices and Bybit prices on Ethereum. Weird. Anyways, with that said, I'm signing off now. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.